All right, so the truth about baby steps. I recently was scrolling on my phone, and as I scrolled through, I came to a quote that someone had posted about baby steps. And of course, what I remembered was the little dude that you see in this picture in the yellow shirt taking early steps across our living room. We had a giant golden bouvier, gorgeous, gorgeous dog. Her name was Liberty. The kids called her Libby for short. And Andreas would walk with one hand up on her back and head across the living room. And that lurching and throwing of the body was so familiar when I read this quote by Olivia Smith. Now, this is her Olivia's Twitter handle, Oliver F. Smith. Um, I do not know a lot about her, but this quote grabbed me. I always love it, she said, when people say baby steps, as if to imply they're being tentative, when actually baby steps are a great, unbalanced, wholehearted, enthusiastic lurch into the unknown. And so, on that quote, I want to talk to you today about what taking baby steps could be like for you and for me. And I want to give you a quick acronym that you can use to help you not take those curious little shy steps that we've started saying in a cute way, oh, it's a baby step, but instead actually doing a legitimate baby step of going all in. So, really briefly, we're going to just reframe baby steps. What is that? Brene Brown says this beautifully. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to move forward despite the fear. And if you're listening to me, it's almost 100% for sure you are a leader in business, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a coach, and you have experienced what it's like to need to take a baby step and not be able to take a baby step. Um, at least not a real one, because that fear comes in and we forget the courage, and we don't know what it's like to leap. There's a space that comes in between that time when we know we should take a leap and the time we actually take a leap. And in that space, we feel all the feelings. We feel the fear. We feel um, the worry that someone's going to judge us. Our perfectionism rises up. We over dramatize or catastrophize. We catastrophize what could actually happen, and we tend to not want to move forward. Full blown nausea sometimes. I remember one of the leaps I had to take. I was young. We had gone out early one Sunday morning. Actually, I think it was a Thursday, but it doesn't matter. Whole group of us. We went out to this beautiful grassy lawn place. We put on big one-piece overalls, and we practiced dive somersaulting off of the picnic tables. And then we packed parachutes, and then we got into a perfectly safe plane and flew up into the air, and then started jumping off the plane. Now, it probably looked like I was being magnanimous when I said, oh, you go first, you go next. No, 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 I'll wait. Until finally everyone had gone out of the plane, and it was just me left. And so I had to go. It wasn't a choice. I had actually been the one that organized the trip. How could I not be the one that jumped? But as I moved forward to that doorway and could feel the wind rushing past, I was complete nauseous, and I thought, I cannot do this. And somewhere I could hear this tiny little voice saying, Beverly, you were made to leap. And I'd like to say to you that it was that little voice that made me leap. But in truth, it was the instructor saying, hey, if you stay on here any longer, we're going to go past our boundary. Go. And so I leaped and experienced one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Drifting and floating down with a parachute. It was one of the most perfect experiences I've ever had, and it was made possible because I took that leap. So how do we leap? I'm going to give you a little acronym here that's going to help, because courage is not something you're born with or without. Courage is a muscle, and you can exercise yours and make it stronger. So here's an idea to help you leap and make that courage just a little bit stronger. So we're going to go with the acronym LEAP to make it really super easy. first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Beverly Jolin, and I care so much that you are grounded in your core values, that you are aligned, that what's on the inside comes out on the outside. I teach business strategy and leadership mindset, and I watch coaches and entrepreneurs double and triple and quadruple and sometimes 10x their incomes, and they move from, you know, 2,000 to 5,000 a month into five-figure months and then six-figure months, and of course I have a handful of clients that run at seven-figure months. But it starts with this. The first letter in LEAP is to locate what matters. Get grounded in your core values. What matters most, and for each of us, it's going to be a little different. It might be your growth, it might be your connection, your contribution, your creativity, your integrity, your relationships, your spirituality. What is inside here? What makes our world gorgeous and beautiful and diverse is the fact that what's in here for you and I is a little bit different. But what matters is that you are aligned with you and I'm aligned with me. So first of all, in order to get courage to lead, locate what matters. And then our E is envision the impact. How could this courageous step serve those values? And what becomes possible when you act in alignment? Taking time to envision the impact is going to allow you to step in and say, wait a minute, if I don't do this, then what? I mean, for me, it was really shame. Beverly, if you don't jump and you ride down with the plane, you're going to be so embarrassed. You better jump to avoid the shame. But when it's in your business and you need to make the decision to walk into that corporate environment and say, hey, I work with leaders like you and I'd like to run a workshop here. Or when you need to go and make a purchase or investment in order to grow your business, you want to envision the impact. Remember this: the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Now, the A is for align with your intentions. Your actions should be aligned with your heart. Your actions should be aligned with your words. Where your heart is, there your treasure is. If your treasure is your time and your money and your resources, that should be aligned. So ask yourself, what would I be doing here if I was fully aligned? And then choose to take action. That is your integrity, is when you step into an action that's aligned with your heart. So we've got L for locate what matters, E for envision the impact, A for align with intention, and now we have our P, proceed with all your heart. Let your sincerity lead the way. I can't honestly look at you and say, oh, I jumped out of sincerity. I've already admitted that the instructor hollered at me that I better get going, and I already knew how embarrassed I would be if I backed down. But in your business decisions, in your relationship decisions, in your charitable decisions, proceed with all of your heart. This is how we take real baby steps, those baby steps that are bold. Remember this, that when a baby takes a step, it's actually a response to its fear of falling. Because if it doesn't take that step, the baby's going to land right on its face. When you're standing, and next time you're by yourself or in a quiet place, I want you to play with this. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. About the time you start to lose your balance, all of you wants to put that leg forward and stop you from falling forward. Taking a step is really to help you get your balance back again. And so if you're feeling stretched and feeling like you're about to fall out of balance, take the step. That's what's going to put you back into alignment, back into balance, so that you can go there. And then just like the little dude used to keep his, you can see his, this is the same, this is my youngest still in his picture. He's got his hand up on grandma's arm as they feel the water splashing on his toes. He was, about 18 months here. Get support to take them. He started walking with his hand on the back of that big dog. But he's always been willing through life actually to reach out and say, hey, I need some help with this. And it's a really good example for each of us. Reach out. It's why I do what I do every day. I like being that person that gets reached out to. That's my vision. That's my calling, is to help other people get there. So if you are in business right now, you're saying, wow, I am not exactly sure how to go forward. I don't know if I have the courage. I'm not even sure if that's the right step to be taking. I would love to have a conversation with you about business strategy or your leadership mindset or your soul alignment so that when you start to fall forward, you know that the step you take is actually going to be the rescue step that stabilizes you. So from now on, when you say to someone, I'm just going to baby step into this, I don't want you to use it as a cute little way of excusing the fact that you're tiptoeing. Because babies, they lurch into it with their whole body in order to see what's on the other side. And that's how you get the reward. So thank you so much for sharing these moments with me. And I look forward to hearing about your baby steps. Drop a comment below, send a note to me. My inbox is always open because I love to hear where you're going and growing. And I like to see you making more impact and more income. So I look forward to connecting with you.